Meaning does not exist outside of context, and thus nothing has more meaning than you give it. Everything in life is subjective. Our experiences are defined by the filters through which we see the world. Our perspective shapes these filters, and it is these perspectives that give meaning to our lives. There is no objective reality. We create reality for ourselves. And so it follows that nothing has more meaning than we give to it. It is up to us to find our purpose in our lives and create the meaning we desire. There is great power in this realization, for it means that we have control over our destiny. We can choose to live a life of purpose and significance, or a life of mediocrity and insignificance. We may not be able to control external forces in our lives, though we can control what meaning we give to them. Whatever your beliefs, it's important to remember that meaning does not exist outside of context. In other words, nothing has more meaning than you give to it. This is why it's so important to be purposeful in your actions and thoughtfully consider the effect they will have on your life and the lives of those around you. Only then can you create the life you truly want to have and to live. When we talk about meaning, we're really discussing understanding, the act of recognizing something on a deeper level. Even though every individual may have their own interpretations of what things mean to them in life, the essence of meaning remains intact and unchanged, that being the idea of understanding something without words. At its core, the notion of meaning has more to do with seeking insight and resonance than simply symbolizing a surface-level understanding. From this perspective, each person's definition of meaning is significant in helping them understand themselves and navigate through life. It gives us a chance to make sense of our past experiences and their implications for our present reality. We are all creators in our own right, able to craft meaning from the situations we find ourselves in. Meaning does not just exist within predetermined confines, objectively given remotely. As beings with free will and free thoughts, it is something that needs to be constantly crafted and evolves with understanding. We must think outside of traditional contexts when it comes to an understanding of what holds true meaning for us. Only when we begin to explore the layers of our existence can we truly bring out the potential of what carries meaningfulness. To embrace this is a spiritual practice that invites us to look beyond appearances and delve into the sacred depths of our souls to uncover deeper truths about ourselves and the world around us. It is important to recognize that meaning does not exist outside of context because it allows us to take ownership of our reality. When we realize that the power to choose what has meaning in our lives lies within us, we can start creating the lives we want to live instead of surrendering our lives to whatever meaning is already prescribed for us by society or authority figures. Without realizing that everything relies on its contextual significance, it's easy to fall into disillusionment and stagnation because the status quo requires minimal effort from us. A newfound strength of mind and soul can be nurtured when we take control and personal power by invoking meaningfulness in our world. If we only follow the meaning other people tell us is right or wrong, or good or bad for our lives, we give over our power to them to control and thus benefit from our efforts. When we look at life and how we choose to live it, the implications of meaning existing only within context are abundantly clear. We can shape our lives in any way we want, assigning significance as and when necessary. When something holds meaning for us, it also benefits from our willingness to enact consequential change to shape our environment toward this goal. The fact that meaning does not exist outside of context reminds us that we are never really limited by circumstances or fate. Instead, it's up to us to show how we ultimately define our lives, and there is a greater power in recognizing this. The more rich and more diverse our experiences are, the more inclusive and fulfilling our meaning will be. This has implications for how we live our lives, as it encourages us to seek new experiences to create a more meaningful life. Have you ever stopped to consider the meaning you have in your life? Is it really yours? Or are you living a life in your way because you have given your freedom up to somebody else to hold power over you?